Hi, this video is going to be much different from the other videos on my channel. I'm just going to be going for a hike through the woods. I'm at Dividend Pond Trail in Rocky Hill, Connecticut. Just a little history on Dividend Pond Trail. This is where George Washington, no, not George, is it George Washington or George Washington Carver? One of the George Washingtons came to, that's where they came here one time. So this is, yeah, I don't think it's poison ivy. Poison ivy's has a liquid texture on it. It's much shinier than this. I don't know, this might be poison ivy. I stumbled upon what appears to be a hidden lagoon. I don't see any wildlife, so it must be some sort of contamination. That's too bad. Shit. Yeah, so all the animals here appear to be extinct. You probably can't see it on camera. I do see something interesting. It's very tough to see, but there's a line hanging, going from the tree down to the water. Here, I zoomed in, so hopefully you can see that stupid line. So this is kind of creepy. Obviously, it reminds you of the Blair Witch Project. Now, we all know the Blair Witch is not real, but Blair from the Facts of Life is very much real, and I'm fairly certain she put this here. I honestly don't know why people like going outside so much. It's really hot. Today's like 88 degrees. I don't know if that's Celsius or Fahrenheit, but either way, it's very hot. Still no signs of any wildlife. This is getting very suspicious. So right on cue, we had our first wildlife sighting. A moose came out of the woods, but it was just eating grass and it was kind of boring, so I didn't film it. When I was a kid, my uncle used to bring me here to go fishing, and one of my core memories is when I caught a regular mouth bass. Yeah, so that bass story I just told brought up some bad memories. We tried to catch and release the bass, which we technically did, but when I threw the bass back into the water, it landed on a rock and its head exploded. I just saw some chipmunks running around these logs, but I didn't turn the camera back on in time, but just wanted to document where they were. They were on these logs. I genuinely don't know what this means. What is a shear factory? If I read all those paragraphs, it would probably explain it, but that's not gonna happen. We have reached the most famous part of the Dividend Pond Trail. This is I forget the name of it, but it was the first bridge, the first wooden bridge to be built in America. It was built by the Indians, not like Native American Indians, Indians from India. They used it to cross the stream. Hell with it. Now, this is interesting because it appears to be a man-made bridge, but it's actually just a fallen tree that over decades has turned into this configuration. This is interesting. It appears to be a fallen tree, but it's actually a man-made bridge. I'm a little bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie. I assume this is some variation of witchcraft, or what is that other thing? That thing they do in like New Orleans. What's that called? The Skull movie, or no, the Skeleton Key movie. Goldie Hawn is her daughter. I think Goldie Hawn's daughter painted that. So I've been walking now for almost 10 minutes, and I believe I'm only about halfway through the trail. And I'm really starting to regret that I didn't bring any food or water. So these here are ferns, and they are what Zach Galifianakis based his Hangover character off of. I just saw another chipmunk when my camera was off. Let's see if we can get it. He ran right into here. So what you're looking for is, he's brown, has four legs. Yeah, 4 legs, and he's terrifying. So no joke, I did not stage this. This was actually here in the middle of the woods. I'm assuming that gnome must actually live here, and he left his baby unattended. I don't get this. We're at a pond, but those are seashells. Let me zoom in. These are seashells. They aren't pond shells or lake shells, they're seashells. I have no idea how they got here. Maybe during like the ice age they got carried here on a glacier. So wait. Hi. No, I'm not Brad Pitt. Yeah, I get that a lot. Thanks. All right, this is bad. This is very, very bad. I don't know how I'm gonna get through here, but I have to try, because if I go back the other way, that's 8 or 9 minutes. So if you don't hear from me, tell people to look for me at a Dividend Pond Trail in Rocky Hill. If something happens, you wouldn't see this video, so yeah, all right. Goodbye. So I got through there by the skin of my teeth. A leaf flew in my mouth and something with my teeth. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear me, but that's a waterfall. See that? Shit, I think. Yeah, that was a robin. They call this type of tree formation with the 4 trees coming out of a single stump I don't know. It probably doesn't even have a name, but it should. Now, if you're afraid of heights, I would not recommend coming to this particular spot. I'm standing right on the edge of a cliff here. And if I were to fall, it'd be I'll show you. The cliff I'm standing on is big, very big. I'd venture to say it is bigger than a skyscraper or even a reflecting pool in Washington, D.C. These are vines, and they're responsible for the vino you love so much. Vino is vine in Spanish. Look at the size of this vino. Looks like someone might have been trying to make some wine. That's how you make wine. You tightly tie ribbons around the vine, and it suffocates it, and then grapes start to produce, and they ferment, and then the wine comes out. So I just walked past that guy, and he was smoking a marijuana cigarette, and I was like, "You're a real trailblazer." But I didn't say that, but I thought of it after, and I should have said that. Just to explain the last thing I just said, we're walking on a trail, so he was a trailblazer because he was smoking. I believe this here is a very primitive toilet. I'll show you. It's hard. It's easier to show than to explain. Just kind of go this. You know the rest. So that's it. I survived the Dividend Pond Trail in Rocky Hill. That's not my motorcycle. I just thought it would look cool. Thanks for watching. Excuse me? No, I'm not him. Someone earlier thought the same thing.